Yeah.
We're talking on Maundy, Thursday, in an era where the gospel, as it is written, is one of the more political things we could be doing.
Yeah.
So the gospel, as it is written, one of the most political things we could be doing, and we're in Maundy, Thursday. How do you imagine queering the gospel or queering proclamation today in the era that we're in, knowing that Jesus is immigrant, Jesus is prisoner, Jesus is enslaved?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Proclaiming and queering the proclamation today, like right now.
You know, I was thinking about, I love that we're going here. And I was thinking about the most powerful Maundy Thursday services I've either been attentive to or have heard about. And two come to mind. The first is and you're going to know this more than I will, Dr. Park, in terms of like in Atlanta, where at, I think it's the Baptist church.
Ebenezer?
I don't think it's Ebenezer. Oh gosh, I'll look it up.
Friendship.
I know. They did a service. I was there in 2016-ish, 17-ish, and there was a service where the last words of Christ were the last words that we had heard from Black folk as they'd been killed by the police.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And it was like, whoa.
Right.
This is poignant, timely, true to the context that we live in.
Yeah.
And just kind of echoing the community present in that space. Like, wow.
Yeah.
And then I think about another one, and this was at a church plant in Seattle that I heard about from, a dear friend who planted the church, Reverend Gerald Goodwin, talked about doing a Maundy, Thursday service where the feet that were being washed were trans folk in the community.
Right.
And the words were spoken by those folk. And again, this is years back. But when I think about how we do Maundy, Thursday, it's the washing of the feet. Whose feet are we washing?
Right.
And how are we in community with the most and multiply oppressed in a real relational way, which means that I'm going to fuck it up. We're going to do it. We're going to do it for real.
Yeah.
And I'm going to take a deep breath. I'm going to say that could, and move forward in a relationship, because relationship and story, whether it's the story of the gospel or the story of our people, is how, your story becomes my story, becomes our story.